Brisbane Wakes Up with Stav, Abby and Matt on B105.
Dear Abby.
Sometimes in life, gets real, and that's when you need Abby to help.
I'm trying to help you.
If you've gone through this situation, we'd love to hear from you, because even I was trying to look it up from a legal point of view. And it's always but, however, depends, get legal advice.
Same as Google tells you everything's cancer.
Wow.
Don't Google it.
But if you've gone through this, we'd love to hear from you. And it's all about buying a house, I guess, by yourself.
Right.
And then maybe having to share it. She has written, Dear Abby, I'm about to make what feels like the biggest step in my life so far, buying my first place all by myself. I've been saving steadily since finishing uni, and my parents have generously topped me up with some money. Yes, spoilt to say, but they recently did the same for my brother, who's gone through a divorce. So it's their way of evening it up. And also, unfortunately, the mess with my brother has really affected their views. Because now I'm ready to finally buy my own place. My parents are suddenly nervous about my boyfriend moving in. They used to really like him, but now they're questioning our relationship and whether he's actually going to finish uni. They have warned me that if things don't work out, he could claim on the property. The tricky part is, like I said, my boyfriend isn't in a position to contribute equally. He's still at uni, so the house will be completely in my name. My parents are urging me to keep it that way, or to ask him if he would go and get legal advice with me before moving in. They've also said another option is to buy my own place and rent it out and then rent together. But how do I actually explain that to him? I understand where they're coming from, but I'm worried about how the conversation will land. Is it reasonable, or would it just put strain in our relationship saying, hey, chances are this may not work out, so let's go and get legal advice? Has anyone gone through this? Yes, I've put everything in ChatGPT. But it all, that's what I was saying, depends. And I really want some real-life situations where this has happened.
You're a real estate gun. Could she...
Oh, don't know real estate, yeah.
Could she rent out, like, could he be a tenant?
Well, that's what I don't know, because that's still...
Well, they're in a relationship. They're in a de facto relationship once they live together.
Yes, even though you're putting them on a lease as like a tenant, you're still sharing a room, right?
Guess so. I'm not 100% sure.
I always thought it was like 2 years, and I don't know if that's still the standard, but I always thought 2 years together, and then whatever you have is also theirs.
I don't... This is an interesting one, because if she was to say, hey, I think we should do some sort of legal document to protect us both, and if he gets antsy about that, well, then I would have huge question marks. If he goes, of course, if you bought a house and we broke up, I wouldn't take that from you.
But then do you have to sign that first? And all I'm saying is that I understand where she's coming from. It's a real unromantic situation.
Yeah, it's like a prenup.
A prenup. And a prenup is generally saying this could not work out.
Yeah.
And cool. Yeah. Stats are saying it couldn't. But you want to go in and say...
Yeah, but then don't if you're the person who goes, I can't believe you're making me sign a prenup, don't leave me then. Like, if it's...
But do prenups work like that?
Yeah.
Because even for when you go to court, this is what I always think, when you're like, people do a will. But now people can contest the will, so then what's the point of...
I just think if the boyfriend is going to not be happy with that, I think he's showing his... true intention. But if he went, of course, I'm not going to, it's your house, I'm not going to take it from you if we break up.
And then you can say that, then it all depends on how they break up.
That is true.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Then sign the thing.
She moves in with his best mate from uni.
Or he can put a couple of clauses in it as well. To go, here's my stipulations.
But then from that point of view, does it matter what you have on some sort of contract if you still then want to take it to court and you had this contract and then you're like, yeah, but I contributed all the bills and we've been together for 4 years. I don't know.
Can get messy.
And I understand I wouldn't want to put it in someone else's name if they haven't contributed.
No.
Because that's just...
Yeah.
He's getting a free house.
I guess it's that romantic idea where you want to not have to have those conversations, because of course we would be together all the time. My dad didn't want me to buy a place with Scotty because he was like, I really want you guys to get married first or engage first before you move in.
Because he was right.
He didn't trust that you were committed, or Scotty?
I probably thought, I don't want Abby taking half of yours, Scott. No way. No, I think he just thought that that's a real serious move financially. That
yeah. Well, there was a time in me and Kat's relationship, Kat and I, very early on, where my lease was up.
Yes.
And I had to find another place. She said, well, why we should just move in together. So, hang on, no, it's too you have
Convenient.
and it is a big step. It is,
Yeah.
to put you combining the thing, So I didn't. And waited for a little bit longer because it is the legalities come into it and all that sort of stuff, and you've got to think about that sort of stuff.
Was that her place?
Was that her place?
Yeah, like when you said like your lease was up, were you going to move into her? Like she owned it.
No. But still, we were going to go rent a place together,
Yeah.
and that's in itself is a legally binding agreement that you're doing as well.
Yeah, but you can't take half.
No, you can't take that. No, but
Maybe of the stuff, I don't know.
yeah.
Have you been in this situation? How did it play out for you? This person is listening this morning.
All right, Deb in Carindale, have you gone through something like this?
I have, in a similar situation. Mine was actually where I had a boyfriend, we were together for quite a while, and he insisted that we should buy a place together. So it was slightly different. We were in that apartment for quite a while, but he didn't have any money behind him, and I paid the deposit, which was a large deposit. And then we were together in the apartment for quite a while, both paying the mortgage, but he was hopeless with money, so sometimes I even paid more than he did. And then the relationship fell through, and we sold the apartment. And then he wanted half of the property value back. And I was like, hang on a minute, that's not fair. I paid, like 150,000 of the deposit. And so it turned a little bit nasty. They always say, it's going to be even, you'll get your money out, that kind of stuff. And so I actually went and got free legal advice, and they said, just get a letter drawn up, just saying that how much money you put in, and then make sure that you get, he gets, say, 40% back, and then you get the 60%. And it worked, just from a simple letter.
Right.
So,
But did he have to agree to that?
No, well, he had no choice.
Right. Okay. Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
good.
So, and like what you've been saying, I think that if a person, just by the mention of it, if a person backs out of it, it just shows the true sign that it's just not worth it if they're going to back out of that. And I also think that if you can't talk about anything at this stage, then they're not the person for you.
Yeah, fair
and I know
enough.
I agree,
I know
Danny.
it sometimes can be hard, but
Yeah.
I definitely think she should say something. Say something for sure.
At the end of the day, if he goes, sure, you do this, and it's your house, and it works out, and they get married and everything like that, it can only be of benefit to him. The
That's
only
true.
time he misses out is if the relationship falls through.
Totally.
So
yeah, because it's a gain. It's a gain for him. But it often people think, because I've had other family members where one person owns the house and then the other person doesn't, and everyone's going, and if the relationship's not good, everyone's going, you should pull out, get rid of them. They can take you for half of what you've got, and it often isn't that case. Because I used to work for the Premier's department, like justice, criminal justice, and all that kind of stuff. And people think that it's so easy; someone can easily take you for half. It's not always the case.
Yeah, see, I think I always had that old-fashioned view, which I'm guessing by this situation, the parents think as well.
Yeah, that's a good point.
probably changes too once children get involved, but that's a whole other kettle of fish, I guess.
Anonymous in Chermside, what's your situation with this?
Hi, guys. So I have just recently gone through this at the beginning of the year. I was fortunate to be in a position where I could actually purchase my house outright by myself. I've been with my partner for 8 years. We're actually engaged. We just choose to live separately. We both have kids from previous relationships.
Right.
So, yeah, my dad also brought up the same concerns. Should we move in together? Apparently it's just like 6 months and we could separate and he could have taken half of everything. So I seeked legal advice and we actually done up a financial binding agreement, just outlining should we split, who would get what. So basically everything would stay with me and my kids because the end goal obviously is for this home to become my children.
Yeah.
Should anything happen to me.
And how did he go with that?
So I was very nervous. I didn't know how to approach him because he's a great guy. Like, he put my kids first. Like, you know, he'd give us the last dollar that he had if we needed it. But, yeah, I just sat him down and said, hey, look, this is what I'm wanting to do. These are my concerns. And he was all for it. He said if the shoe was on the other foot and it was him buying it, say, for him and his son, and he'd happily have us live there, but should anything happen, it would still be something there for him and his
Yeah.
fun.
Makes sense.
And that's a
There you
mature
go.
conversation. I think you both respect it as well as parents going, yeah, of course, our children are the ones that need to be protected the most. Yeah.
And last one, Anonymous as well. And Anonymous, you're a conveyancer?
Yeah, I am. So we work in a law firm. We do a lot of things like this, not only just for property sales, but also the aftermath of what happens when people don't get binding financial agreements beforehand. And I also know people who have personally had this happen to them. And yeah, it is a case of, one person can put the majority share in, and if they don't get some sort of agreement beforehand, it can turn really nasty, and that's what happened with my friends. They were together for quite some time. They separated. She didn't put too much into the house. It did get done under a fine-tooth comb, but at the end of the day, my friend ended up having to pay her partner out because she didn't have any proof that, she was the one that put everything into the property rather than the other person. So
Because they had a shared account and the money was coming out of there, not her own
everything
account.
was shared. That's what a lot of people do at the end of the day. They get together, especially when you're together for quite a few years.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's going to be an awkward conversation sometimes, but at the end of the day, you just have to say, look, do you care? Let's just go get this done. Let's go buy this house. We'll get all this paperwork saying what I'm putting in and what you're contributing. And then it can be easy. And if the worst happens, obviously no one wants to prepare to separate, but it happens. And
Yeah, I think that's definitely great advice.
Yeah, and I guess what we were saying with the first person, they actually had the proof of it.
Yeah.
Where I never really thought about that.
All right.
So
there we
make
go.
it a romantic date. Hey, do you want to go and see a lawyer for lunch?
It's the Stav, Abby and Matt podcast.